And hello to all friends, potatoes are with you. This is the 6th part of the Botany Fashion Guide for version 1.16.5. But before you start watching, be sure to subscribe to me and click on the bell so as not to miss a new video. And now, we finally move on to the next section, called Generating Flora. As you can understand from the name, here we will have various flowers that will generate something, namely mana. Here we meet our wood hydrangea already familiar to us. And then there's this endoflame. But you can see there are also a lot of other very interesting flowers here. So let's take them apart. The first flower is quite interesting in its mechanics. This is shock minot. For some reason, we haven't translated it yet. How many? 3 years have probably passed, and it still hasn't been translated. But this, in principle, will not interfere with our knowledge of it. I will tell you right away that for his work, you will need another second flower called Heisei's Dream. It's not a generating flora, it's a functioning flora. We have it in the next section, which here it is a functioning flora. This section is a little more than creating flora, but we will analyze it in the next part. What is a functioning flora? This is Flora, who will spend mana and do something. In this case, what is Heisei's Dream doing with us? It will simply make all mobs aggressive. They will even beat their relatives. Just for this, we will need this flower. The flower of Shellkin itself is made from the rune of anger, the rune of envy, the spirit of gay, a light gray petal, 2 purple petals, and also 2 purple petals. We take this flower. We also need a shocker, because as a clear title, this flower works from the shockers. I will also take a mana distributor, any mana pool, of course our Dream Heisei, for her washing, and also zombies, just to show how these flowers work. In general, first of all we will put a shock of minutes. That's how it looks, pretty nice. He will work for us from shocker. Let's sleep here, and for some reason nothing happens. Here look, we have nothing generated. Let's even put a guy's mana distributor here, like this, here like this. We will tie this whole thing. We will tie it here, and nothing is generated anyway. Why? Because we need this shocker to attack someone. More precisely, he was attacked. It is when he has his lid open. To do this, we will need to remember the zombies. But for some reason, zombies don't attack anyone. And in order for him to attack and be attacked by shocker, we will need just the same flower called Heisei's Dream. Let's put a comma right here right away, with the help of this pool. So we have it powered up, everything is great, there is a tick here, and now we can start testing this flower. Let's remember the zombies here and see what happens. So, for some reason, he doesn't want to work. I honestly don't understand why. Maybe everything is connected incorrectly here somehow. That's all he got attached to. It was just a tank. In short, here's attempt number 2. Let's remember the zombies and look, he's going to attack now. And here there was such an explosion, shocker disappeared. And look here, immediately began to fly. This whole shock of minutes was filled with mana, a lot about the plague. Here you can see the guy distributor, he still transmits and transmits everything here. Look here, the stripe is even growing a little bit. When you know that this pool is very spacious. Let's stimulate it again. Here we have a shocker. Let's remember the zombie. Now he will attack the shocker. He will open and, oh no, it's closed. Now in short, something will happen. And so, yes, finally there was an explosion. And again here we have mana generated. The next flower is water hydrangea. We have already considered it, but still, it is worth mentioning it too. Look, the hydrangea water we have will generate mana from the water. Let's say here, we have water disappeared right away, and it turned into mana, we can probably even, and here it will all be absorbed. Absorbed, in the end, the whole thing went wrong. How will it be necessary to install these flowers and water, so that everything works more or less normal? It really won't be the best option. I'll probably tell you about it a little later, but still, I want to show you one of the most common options, namely, just make a thing like this here from half blocks, pour water here, and then just put hydrangea water in the corners. They will absorb water here. The water here is infinite, and therefore will be generated by an infinite n. But, this is a very good flower, if you know how to use it. The next flower is called Gourmelis. It is made from a rune in summer, a rune 4 lights, a red petal, 2 yellow petals, and also 2 light gray petals. We take it and also various food. Why food? Because, as you can understand from the name, this flower is a gourmet with us. He will eat various foods. Let's say we throw baked potatoes to him. He starts eating it, and we look, here a little mana appeared in it. We throw him fried lamb. He also eats it, and now mana will be added. That's what you can notice. This flower will be ineffective if you just throw it out of your hands like that. But you can arrange such a special feed for him. Let's say, watermelon slices, even the most banal ones, if you make a farm. Or even roast beef, if you make a special farm again. In short, if you have an infinite food company, you can attach it to this flower, and you will have infinite mana. The next flower is called Chewing Dew. It is made from a gluttony rune, 2 mystical lime petals, 2 red petals, and also 1 green petal. We take it, I also take an oak sapling, and bone meal. Why? But because this chewing dew will eat up all the foliage. Let's say even we can put it here somewhere right here. And look what happens, she just starts eating all the foliage of this tree. But I advise you to make this chewing dew somewhere on a tree farm where you extract wood, but you can also extract mana in parallel. Let's say you put this chewing dew slightly at a height, a tree is grown here. Look, the op has grown automatically, and this dew collects all the foliage and turns it into mana. Here's how active it is. Therefore, I believe that this flower will be ineffective to use if you do not have a firm tree. Just put the foliage, so it seems to me it won't be a thrill at all, if only you hire some kind of slave. And so, if you have a tree farm again, which you have fully automatic, then you can safely put such a chewing race there, and there will be a buzz in general. The next flower is life dandelion. In my opinion, this is the most difficult flower in its understanding. It is made from the spirit of gay, 2 purple petals, 1 lime petal, a green petal, a water rune, a fire rune, an earth rune, and also an air rune. I'm taking it. For it to work, we will need cellular blocks. They are made from 3 cacti, potatoes, carrots, and also beets. We take them and take another lever, because we will have it powered by redstone. Look, we're going to put it right here in the middle. He will need a very large area, namely 25 by 25 blocks like this along the plane. And what kind of flower is this? This is considered that flower dash game. You will need to play life here, let's say, to put such cellular blocks. Here, see what the rules are. If we have 1 cell left on the field, that is, just the same on this field 25 by 25, then it dies. If she has a neighbor or 2 neighbors, then she continues to live. If this empty block has 3 neighbors, then another cell is created here. And if an existing cell already has 3 neighbors, then it simply dies. That's how it works somehow. And most importantly, look at what to take into account here. Here we get that the cycle of life lasts 10 ticks. In other words, let's take a look at all of this now. This is very difficult to perceive by ear. It takes quite a long time to figure it out, but let's take a look at it anyway. I'll put 10 like this, and let's say the cells are like this and like this. And now let's run this flower. Well, what's going on here? Here they begin to spin like that, multiply. We have cycles here. Every change is with us. Consider that a generation is changing. Look, now we have something spinning around here. Let's deliver more blocks here, so that something changes. So life begins again, and now we have something going on again. And here we are awarded points as follows. It depends on how many new cells were born here, in a radius of 3 blocks in this flower. In other words, the longer this arrow lasts for you, let's say probably, the more points we will have here. It's quite difficult to perceive again. It's better to watch some other videos on YouTube, or it's better to just take this book and read it here, because in words, it is simply unrealistically difficult to explain, and it is necessary to make a separate video. But so literally, probably in about a minute and a half, I told you the essence of this flower. Let's finish this game, so that all these cells well, in general, at the end of this whole cycle. And yes, everything is gone. Some amount of mana should appear here. However, in this case there is nothing here, because just here, no cell was born within a radius of 3 blocks from this flower. Let's try again to do something after all. Let's say like this, and try to activate it again. And I just want to show you that mana still appears here. Here, you can see, there is just a little bit of mana there. In fact, by the way, this flower can even be automated, and it will bring you just a huge amount of mana. The next flower is much easier than life dandelion, is a kikimoris. It is made of 2 white petals, 2 orange, and also 2 brown. You also need exactly gluttony, and also palsofe. We take this flower, and also a cake, because it will eat a cake. Just put it on, and put the cake here. And look, he's going to start eating it now. Look here, bites off so bit by bit, and creates mana. In principle, this flower can be considered practically useless, because I hardly think that you will have an endless plant of these cakes, especially the question of how else to put them. Maybe with the help of Kret somehow. Well, that is, autonomous activators. I don't see any other options here. The next flower is called Rafflesia. It is made from the Palsophia, of 2 purple petals, 2 green, 1 black, the rune of the earth, and also the rune of pride. We take him, and take various other flowers, because he will simply feed on his relatives. Let's say hydrangea water, he eats them, then let's say entropin, he also eats them, and converts them into mana. In order for him to work more efficiently, he will need to be served various flowers. That is, not in a row like this into the water of hydrangeas, but let's alternate them. Then there will be more mana. The next flower is called a slime mold. It is made of 2 lime petals, 2 green, 1 black, the rune of summer, and also the rune of water. We take it. To work, you will also need slime in a bottle, to find a slimy chang, and build a special farm there, where slugs will be remembered, because it will work only from the slug, which will be fulfilled in the world, and not with the help of us. That is, you will not need a slug spawn egg. Look, let's say we try to find slime chang now. We take the slime in a bottle in our hand, and if slime starts jumping there, that is as he was jumping somewhere here, right here, then this is a slime chang. So here the slugs will spawn, there you can build a slime farm. When the slugs are remembered, they will immediately be destroyed by this slime mold and transformed into mana. The next flower is spectrolysis. It is made from a fairly large number of ingredients. This is fairy pollen, 2 red petals, 2 green, 2 blue, 2 white petals. Exactly the winter, also exactly the air. This flower is quite interesting in its work, because it will need a variety of colors of wool. Let's put it on. We throw his white wool first. Then look, we take our staff of the forest, and it shows orange wool, and we throw orange. Next, we have a purple one. The purple one will then show blue, yellow, lime, pink, gray, well in general and so on. Then again, white, orange, so in general, in a circle, they will produce quite a lot of mana. I think this flower is profitable if you have an endless company of multicolored wool, and you can endlessly feed this wool to this flower and generate a lot of mana. The next flower is the secret rose. It is made of a mana rune, 2 pink petals, 2 purple, and also 1 lime. We take it and also take the bubbles of experience, because this flower will feed on our experience. That is, let's give these to ourselves. Let's just go to this rose, and look, there we have a manum. Let's go into survival mode now, and look carefully at our experience. He slowly leaves and transforms into mana. Quite a convenient flower, if you just have a lot of experience. Let's say there are thousands. The next flower is a lily. It is made of a rune of lights, a rune of earth, 2 orange petals, and also 1 red. We take it, and we also take lava, because this flower will work from lava, about the same as hydrangea water. Here look, we have lava absorbed here, and, moreover, it is transformed into a full strip of mana here. This flower is quite difficult to automate, because it will need to feed lava into its radius of action. That is, it will have to be pumped somehow with the help of pipes, but if you find a way, let's say from hell there is a big lake like this, pump lava, and teleport it to the ordinary world, directly to our flower. Then you can really get mana very cool for yourself. The next flower is Endaflame. We have already considered it. Well, let's take another look at its effectiveness, and compare it with others. Let's say we have a traffic police distributor. Let's put it up, and put it like this. I don't know, 6 flowers. They immediately get attached to this distributor, and we will throw more coal here, so that they all start working, and see how effective it is. 6 flowers is a pretty feasible amount that you can craft, and that's how much they will bring you mana. Pretty good, because you can automate the creation of coal, and thus make yourself an infinite mana again. And the last flower is called Entroponum. It is made of 2 red petals, 2 gray, 2 white, the rune of anger, also the rune of fire. We take it, and we take dynamite. I do not know if it will work with other dynamites from other mods, but I know that it works great with vanilla ones. After all, we put it on, and it will create mana only from explosions. Here we have dynamite. We blow it up, and see what is happening now. And we poke the PCM on this flower, and here, it is completely filled with us. Honestly, I don't know if it will work with any other mods. Let's say there is a nuclear bomb of some kind. I haven't checked it, and you don't do it better. Survival is better somewhere in the creative, because you never know what will happen. Little will not work out, you will tear everything to yourself. Well, as it is, it's a pretty good flower, because it really produces a lot of mana in exchange for dynamite. And if you have some kind of company, their creepers automatic and sand, then you can calmly. By the way, now we have nothing absorbed here, because it was filled. This, by the way, should also be taken into account. Well, in general, if you have an endless farm of gunpowder and sand, then you can safely make yourself such a flower, and again make infinite mana generation. Well, there was a potato with you. Be sure to subscribe, like, write comments, and also click on the bell so as not to miss new videos.